And the face of the frustration is that Juan Soto has underperformed to start his Met career. And I'm kind of annoyed at you, and I'm kind of annoyed at Tommy, because you two, with agendas, that's all it is.
I have no agenda.
Needed to try to prove me wrong about the Soto bunt the other day.
Oh, I was joking.
So when he hits a home run the other night, I got to hear from Tiki and Luggie saying, see, the bunt got him out of it.
Yeah.
It didn't get him anywhere.
What is that?
Because he's not out of it.
What does a ball on a bat feel like?
Well, I'll tell you what it feels like. He struck out in that at-bat. He popped up in the next at-bat. Then he hits a home run, and he took an 0 for 5 today in which he struck out 3 times, and one of the outs was a bounce double play when he came up with the bases loaded and 1 out. He's a freaking mess right now, so don't give me this garbage how a bunt woke him up. I don't know what's going to wake him up. Maybe it's warm weather, like Jazz Chisholm would say. Maybe it's the nestle bosom of the home crowd tomorrow night at Citi Field.
It'll be interesting to see what he says after this game. What do you think the problem is, Juan? It's cold as you know what.
Yeah, by the way, let me give him advice. I wouldn't say that. You know what he should say? And he learned this and should learn this from the captain. Did you hear what Francisco Lindor said yesterday after the Game 2 loss?
I did not. Please tell us.
He said, I've got to be better. This is unacceptable, and it's on me. And we all knew that. Like, the Mets lost last night's game because of Francisco Lindor. He was the main culprit. Doesn't mean I hate him. Doesn't mean I don't love him. It's just calling it like it is. You got to call balls and strikes. That is my friendly advice to Juan Soto. I got to be better. And my friendly advice to Met fans, sound like Tiki right now, is as much as you are frustrated, as much as you're mad, as much money as he makes, let's not boo him. When I sit here and I tell you he's in a boo zone, I think I said this off air to both Tommy and Tiki. I said, dude, this bat's at Citi Field. He's here in the boos. I'm not saying it because I want it, and I'm not saying it because I'm going to do it. I'm saying it because I know the fellow Met fan. I know the way we operate. Mm-hmm. We are very quick to turn. And Tommy may not be the best example because he's positive Tommy, but you know PT. I'm calling him PT now.
Oh, no.
You know PT, a lot of our brethren, they're getting the fangs out.
Do not boo. Do not boo. Do not boo. And I'm not talking to you Met fans. I'm talking to you Yankee fans. So when Juan Soto comes to Yankee Stadium for the Subway Series, don't boo. Don't you dare.
We're talking.
Boo.
No.
Stand up. Shut your mouth, Evan. Turn up. Stand up. Turn around. Face the back of the stadium and say nothing. I love it. I love it.
All right.
Now you can continue.
Okay, I'm going to hijack this.
Yeah.
To my fellow Met fans, no matter how frustrated you are tomorrow night when he strikes out with 2 on and 2 out.
Because I'll be in the building.
Well, we'll see if Tiki's still there. Then again, the way the Met offense is going, he'll be there all night because the rule is he can't leave till they score a run.
I got to stay till he score.
Don't boo. I'm not saying cheer. I'm not saying we got to do that soft Philly crap like, oh, let's give him a standing ovation.
What if it worked?
Well, it didn't work. It was just a coincidence. I'm merely saying the fangs are out. Let's try to put them back.
And let's learn from history, shall we? And I understand that, and I'm going to call you out here, Evan, because I know what's
What have I done?
I know what's brewing in your stomach, and I can't blame you. You went through Kevin Durant, you went through Aaron Rodgers, you went through Max Scherzer, so you're worried, and you're seeing comments by Juan Soto, you saw comments by Aaron Rodgers, you saw comments by Kevin Durant, you saw comments by Kyrie Irving, so you're worried. Here we go again. Everyone relax. The Mets are in first place. Juan Soto plays on the Mets. The Mets are in first place. So let's look at it that way. They're in first place, and players slump. Yeah, he's struggling in his early stages of his career. So did Lindor. I'm sure Beltran did. I'm sure Piazza did.
You sure Beltran did?
A lot of
he
people
did.
I know he was in the National League. He's switching leagues. If he had this slump in May or June, nobody would care about it. It's early on. Everybody's feeling a little bit in their feels right now. They're in first place. I'm never going to tell anybody not to boo. So I won't go that far because I think you have your right to do whatever the heck you want. You can boo. You can not boo. I'm sure Juan Soto's going to be fine either way. You boo or you don't boo. I would say relax. They're in first place. If Juan Soto is their problem, then we have no problems.
Well, I hold on a second. I want to make something clear. So tomorrow night, you're coming to the game with us? I know Sean had to back out, but Tiki is still coming. You're still coming?
I'll be there.
Okay. I've done this before, and I promise you I'll do it again, but I need to know if I have backup. If I hear a Met fan get up and boo Juan Soto after a big strikeout in the 6th inning, I am going to say something.
So you're the boo police?
Yeah.
So I need to protect you. That what you're saying?
Well, I wasn't even asking if you're going to protect me. I was asking if Tommy's going to join in, or is Positive Tommy just a fake gimmick on social media? Or are you going to show up and do the hard work at Citi Field with me?
No, I would say that I would look at them and scowl. I don't know if I'll shout anything, but you're right. Positive Tommy has to be Positive Tommy in person as well, and I will always preach
so
the power
you'll join
of positivity.
in?
Yes.
I'm not saying I'm going to scream at them. I'm going to have a conversation.
I don't like shunning that. I just like preaching the power of positivity, but I think it would be unfair booze. How about that?
I think it sounds like you're a big wuss. Is the way it
How am I a
sounds.
big wuss? I don't think anybody's going to get mad at me because I'm telling them not to boo.
Well, then why are you scared? I've done this
It's not that
before.
I'm scared. I just don't think we as fans should tell other fans what to do.
No, here's what you do.
Unless you're Tiki.
Here's what you do. I've done this twice before where I've gotten involved with other fans. One was Mike Piazza as a kid, and I didn't handle it well. But I did yell, and I cursed at the guy. But believe it or not, true story, 2022 Met playoff game against the Padres. They're down 1-0. DeGrom put guys on base. I don't know if you remember. It was like in the fourth inning. He was struggling. And this guy sitting next to me starts booing him after like a walk. And he's like, you know what? Take your money and leave, you hick. And I looked at him and I said, why are you doing that? I said, what are you doing? He said, well, I don't think he even wants to be here, and he's always hurt. I'm like, all right, let's take this step by step. He's probably the greatest pitcher of our generation. Okay, one of the greatest pitchers we've ever seen. All right, he wasn't old enough to remember Tom Seaver. I said, he's great. Okay, you don't know if he's trying to leave, and we're in the middle of a playoff game. So why don't we think about this again? Why are we doing this? And he said, you're right. And he stopped. And that's how you handle it.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't have to, I didn't yell at him. I didn't lecture him. I'm just asking him, what are you doing? So you could, first of all, Sean, I love how these guys scoff all the time. You've spent every day with Tiki telling people to not boo Soto, and now I'm having a discussion where, hey, I'm going to actually do something about it, and you're scoffing at me?
Because I actually think it's a wasted conversation, which is very rare in radio for this standpoint. Number one, it's amazing to me. $800 million used to be able to buy you an NFL franchise. Now it can't even buy you a hit, which is fascinating.
You had that one in your coffer for a while,
I
right?
did. Yeah. Here's the other thing. Unfortunately, Evan, I'm not going to get the blood I want or some of us want. You Met fans going to Citi Field, you don't have the courage to boo Juan Soto. You don't. I dare you to boo Juan Soto.
See, I see what you're doing.
I dare you to. You won't,
this.
and you won't. You know why? Because this is the most unique free agency situation in history. And the moment Met fans start to boo Juan Soto this early in the season, you know what they do? All this talk about, we got Soto. You give the Yankee fans blood. And that's the last thing the Mets fans are looking to do.
Good point.
Juan Soto is going to get the longest leash ever seen by a New York athlete in terms of booing for underperforming, because the moment Met fans boo.
I think, shouldn't he get the longest leash?
Okay, so there's a
You're
convoluted...
scared of Yankee fans.
I am not a booer. I didn't boo Beltran. I didn't even boo Alomar. But we had this conversation before he ever played a game yet, because I know the way we are. I know the way we are as New Yorkers. We're quick to turn. And when you're the face of the offensive struggles, and he is now, despite the home runs in back-to-back games, like it or not, he's the face of the offensive struggles.
Right.
He has had one hit with runners in scoring position. He's hitting .231. He took it 0 for 5 and struck out 3 times, including grounding into a brutal double play in the 6th inning or the 5th inning of this garbage game against the lousy Minnesota Twins.
Right.
So I'd love to give everybody a long leash when it comes to boos. But I disagree that because they signed him away from the Yankees, somehow Met fans are going to be different. Met fans are going to be angry that they lost back-to-back games to the Minnesota Twins. And the reason they lost back-to-back games to the Twins is because they didn't hit enough. Those are the facts. The reason, and they were able to overcome this before the last 2 games because they were winning most of the time. In fact, this is their first back-to-back losing streak of the season. First time they've lost back-to-back games all year long.
By the way, we're 18 games in, so calm down.
I'm just reacting to the game and the moment and the people. They've overcome the fact that their offense has done nothing this season. This isn't new. What happened in this game is not new. What happened yesterday isn't new. They just weren't able to overcome it the way they did for the first 15 games of the season.
Right, and so there's really nothing to panic about, not even regarding Juan Soto. He's just slumping right now. And so booing just sounds like it's the stupidest thing to do because he's hitting .230 and doesn't seem like there's an end in sight. But eventually, he's going to be Juan Soto. We know this.